Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey and what you need to hear today. I'm really excited, you guys. I just finished a soulmate update read. So if you're in, the kind of love bubble and you want to go see something, that's available. Also, I just got a message from Sammy over at Not Your Average Glow Up, and she did a colossal labor of love with a new Who Is Your Spouse. It's over 3 hours. Obviously, pick a card, most likely with the different groups pertaining to different aspects. So go check her out. She has a lovely formula. It's very spiritually based and educationally based, like the things that we really need to work on to receive great love, to be in receivership, to know that it's available to us, to know our worth, again, to not descend into the madness that is that crazy love bubble with jealousy and envy and all of that, keeping an even keel. I just love her messages so much. So go check that out. Again, she's Sammy at Not Your Average Glow Up, and over on IG, you can just do her direct link, or you can come to my IG and see that. Really excited about that. I know what it is to put a big project together and have it just be fluid and flow and be wonderful. So today, you guys, this is going to be a kind of ode to Colette. I love her deck so much, and the Enchanted Map was, I believe, my second deck I ever bought, and maybe my first Oracle deck. Her messages are beautiful. They're so profoundly simple, but they're really words of wisdom. They really make so much sense, and when we can apply them, it's like a deep, soothing breath, a calm moment, sitting under a tree. Like, I almost want to cry when I recall some moments I had yesterday that were so profoundly restful, and I thought, my gosh, why don't you do this for yourself every day? You felt so great, and your mind was at peace. So basically, I bought a new beautiful reclining beach chair, and I sat out, and it's low to the ground because I like to be close to the bees and the flowers, and I just listened to Celtic music, and I had half of me in the shade, so it was cool, and then I had my legs poking out in the sun, and then my neighbor was beginning to mow their lawn, so I thought, oh, what I'll do is, just so I'm not my vision isn't drawn there, I had this like white caftan, and I pulled it over my sun hat, so I had like a white umbrella, and I still saw all the play of the leaves from the tree above me playing on the caftan and making these little sputtering leaves while I was listening to Celtic music. I was, no joke, completely transported. Like, I was in my mind's eye, I was walking through big lavish green fields, I was by lochs and lakes, and I just literally traveled in my mindscape to the most beautiful, restful places. I love that. It was like a wonderful earthy meditation, heaven. And then I just felt like nothing could faze me. I was completely unbothered by anything. Everything seemed richer and deeper, and it was wonderful. So that's kind of this wizard of awareness to me. Mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what's going on in the world around us, right? This implies to the environment within us too. So if we struggle inside ourselves, stepping into an observer position gives us a new powerful perspective. It neutralizes discomfort or overexcitement. Like, I didn't feel geared up, or when I didn't feel a sense of urgency, which was wonderful. Then I went on to have the most peaceful, dreamy nap ever. I actually had a crazy dream this morning, right before I woke up, that I was out with Paris Hilton because my house was flooded or something. And then I was at a friend's house, and she showed up, and she's like, oh, you can have one of my luggage. I have so much luggage, Melanie. Just take this one, and everything, and it was pink. And of course, I was like, oh my God, I have red hair. I'm going to have to wear a hat every day. But I was like, thanks, Paris. And she's like, oh, and this toothpaste that I have that's in there, it's the best stuff. And it was a weird conversation, and then she flitted off, and then I went on my merry way, and it was bizarre because it was so realistic. It was crazy. But it's one of those things where anything that would normally seem intense or antagonize you just doesn't do this when you are in a good headspace. She says this thing in her book about wearing the world as a loose garment requires us to adopt a sense of nothing that happens to you is personal. Absolutely. Everybody is busy within their own little realm in their life. So whether they are enchanting and sweet and nice and engaging with you, or they just seem like they can't be bothered, that is them in the moment. We all have those, right? I have moments where I want to talk to everybody, and everything is fascinating, and I love everybody, and there are moments where my bandwidth is at its max, and I need an hour or maybe a day to reassemble and get back in that wizard of awareness kind of thing. Experiences evolve from one state to another in continual shifting, and they change no matter how much we want them to stay the same. This also means our bandwidth, our moods, and what we're able to take on board. So This kind of card asks us to give up our need to define or limit what we're experiencing right now. It's all good. Just let it be and watch everything unfold without any direct influence from us, because it is kind of sometimes our ego that wants to get in charge and steer that boat. But we're like, I'm hella good where I am. Things can go on. They can go on in the direction they want. I don't need to control everything. And that brings us to the encouragement card. You are receiving a nudge in the right direction right now. This card definitely shows us that we're being gently encouraged to step into our power, into the dream of our life. New things are out there to be explored, and the nurturing power of the universe is going to give you a nudge in the right direction. Having faith in that, you're going to get the help that you need, and you're not going to be alone in your quest. Every step that you are taking right now is supported by your inner wisdom and the universe, and you're on the right path. So recognize that whatever we put out there, our wish list is being received, and we are going to get nudges. I'll get this weirdly enough through going on YouTube, and the right reader will be presented to me. Their cadence of voice, their message just does it for me. And I'm like, you know what? That is what I needed to hear. I needed to hear that I'm in no hurry, that all is well in the world, that I can take a deep breath and I can relax, that the next step will be shown to me, whether through my own natural wisdom, the universe, beautiful synchronicities, but I can take my time and those things will be provided for me. And then I feel like it beautifully glides into the next card, flying. You have the power to see things from a higher perspective. Whenever I get either doom or gloom or anxiety, I just shut that dial off and I say reset. My ego or my fearful self is trying to take over, or trauma-based responses ain't allowed to play in this game. The game of risk is about exactly that risk. So I have the power to see things from a higher perspective. So that's what's going on. So I am just saying that the waiting is over and all the hard work is paid off, and the things that you hope for are no longer beyond your scope. You will have the ability to reach for the stars and find the one with your name on it. It's your time. Spread your wings. The angels are out there and they are going to assist you. When we think we can, guess what? We can. I've had days where I've looked back and go, oh my gosh, like I feel like Gentleman Jack in this scenario. I feel like I've made 13 house visits. I feel like I, created this wonderful day of fresh air and exercise and higher learning and exhibiting my best, highest qualities. We can always do that if we slow down and we just assess where we are, right? What are your thoughts right now about the day? Just that alone. Are you pulling too much on board and thinking, you have to get a broom and sweep Rome clean and get everything, like ridiculous scale kind of options. So what I do is I break it down. I go, what is the next thing I want to do that's going to make me feel good and bring my vibration? Usually I go on and I have fun chit chats with my friends over and direct messages and IG, and they bring me up. It's exactly what happened. I got to talk to Sam, one of my friend. It was in Finland. I was like, wow, this is crazy. All of these wonderful, exciting tidbits that are happening. And what I do is I look for the connections that help me to soar and go, wow, if my friend is doing that, I'm going to implement this in my day. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to in the next couple of weeks for myself is really focusing in on some of my psychological and spiritual teachers that I love, to really, while I am exercising, taking this on board, because I'm really determined to become more physically fit. I feel better when I am. As a Sagittarius, I like to move. And when I'm not, I feel like my mental state isn't as sharp. But if I can listen to the people that I love and adore while I'm exercising, that's like double gloss coat there, loving it. So what do you want to do that is going to make you feel good about you and make you feel like you have more options, make you feel like you're more finely tuned? That's it. Get that perspective to there is infinite wealth, wisdom, ideas, love, considerations in the world, like everything. I can have what I want. I don't need it immediately, because there is also, I feel like for me too, I can be super impatient. I will apply patience to everything. The things I need will always come to me. They always have. I feel like everybody else, when it comes to the economics of the world and my little world, sometimes I get in a little bit of fretful state, because I'm like, well, what about this and that? And and then we always have concerns for extended family, and will they have the abundance that they need? But guess what? I've always been provided for. I've always provided for myself when necessary, or in group settings and within family. And whatever you have, you'll need. So instead of fear mentality for a feeling that you will lack in prosperity or abundance, turn that around to this flying card in the higher perspective of the universe is generous and loves me, and I'm a child of the universe, and of course it wants me to have food and shelter and so on and so forth. This also has to do for creatives. Like, you guys are going to have some serious breakthroughs. You are going, like, I just see a rocket ship going straight up. The ideas that are going to catapult you into the next stage of developments for, rich, beautiful ideas that are going to turn into revenue streams as well. So I love this. I felt really compelled to do this right in this moment. I'm in really high spirits, and I just want to thank you guys so much for your beautiful comments. And also, when you come over and DM me, when you guys have good ideas and you're excited about stuff, it gets me excited. We all just kind of like energize each other with those jolts of, wow, I'm excited that I was able to do this. And I get it. I get it so much, because we do have, those big tidal waves of ideas, and when we act on them, that we feel fresh and alive and wonderful. And that's what this flying card's about, and that's what these moments are about, and that's what Sammy was also about this morning. Her kind of opus magnus that she finished. I love when I have like a spectacular idea for a jewelry piece or a reading, it comes into fruition, and then you're able to share that. So congratulations, Sammy. And you guys go over and see her on Not Your Average Globe and check her out. I'm really excited. Again, and let's encourage one another. All us creatives out there, we know what it's like to have that rich, abundant feel and be like, yeah, I'm going to pluck my beautiful sunflowers and get all excited. And there are days where like, I can't even challenge myself. I'm at my bandwidth. It's the ebb and flow, but now is your time to fly and go out there and reap the rewards of these magnificent ideas that come up and become this. Recognize what anybody else is doing is wonderful, but we don't have to be affected by it by any means. There is some tragedies taking place in the world, but guess what? We don't want to fixate on that, because there's also beauty and magic happening everywhere, where people are going out of their way to help people have fresh water and food in their villages, things of that nature. Focus, be the wizard of awareness on all the goodness that's taking place in your life and around you. So love and light, you guys.